for analysis on the threat posed by Al-Shabab terrorists in the East and Horn of Africa. I'm joined live via Skype from Baltimore, Maryland by Ruth Namatovu, an analyst on Africa, peace, security and conflict at John Hopkins University. Ruth, welcome to Africa 54.
I'm welcome. Nice to have you.
So, Ruth, the peacekeepers from the East African forces have been in Somalia for years now. And the question on many people's minds is, why haven't they been able to defeat the Al-Shabab terrorists?
What I have to tell you is that first, the war in Somalia is asymmetric. It's not a conventional warfare. So these forces are fighting an enemy that they can't see. So if you're fighting somebody that you can't see, it's very difficult to defeat this person. Al-Shabab uses the asymmetrical warfare, whereby they have to use explosives to do maximum damage to whatever target that they attack. And after that, they melt into the population. And the population is not very much helpful in identifying this kind of people when they are asked, so that they can be gone after. And if they melt into the population, then you can't go to fight in an area that is full of civilians. So that makes the war very difficult to actually finish or defeat such agents.
So the peacekeeping mission in Somalia, formerly known as AMISOM, is now ATMIS, but they are preparing to leave Somalia by the end of 2024. What challenges would this pose for Somalia's government?
First of all, the exit of the African Union forces is conditions-based, meaning they can only leave when the conditions on the ground actually permit them to leave. The situation is Al-Shabab is still very active, and it will need another whole lot of assessments before actually these troops are supposed to leave. So far, they are doing their security transition, handing over military bases to the Somali forces. Some of them are being held by the Somali forces, which is very good. But an actual testing of the Somali forces and their capabilities in the field to be able to take over when the African Union troops leave is still something that is lacking. So the actual departure will depend on that, if the forces can secure the forces. If they can't, then the troops will have to have their mandate extended to be able to at least they cannot defeat Al-Shabaab now, but they can degrade Al-Shabaab to the levels that are acceptable to enable the government run properly.
You know, given your expertise as a security analyst for Africa, what do you think it will take to defeat Al-Shabaab?
I don't think that Al-Shabaab can now be defeated via just a military option. It's high time now the government of Somalia and its partners began to think of reconciliation. The only challenge to this is that while the government of Somalia is willing to reconcile or negotiate with Al-Shabaab, Al-Shabaab is not ready to do so. They see the Somali government as a Western-backed, and they see any Western actors as intruders on their Islamic faith or an intruder into their country. So for now, they are not willing to negotiate. But I think the most important way forward now is to find ways of doing the back channel negotiation with Al-Shabaab. There are people who can reach out to these people and begin negotiating for peace, find out what they want, reconcile some of the communities within where Al-Shabaab actually works, or these people who work with Al-Shabaab. I think that is the immediate way forward. But the military option is not going to end the insurgency in Somalia right now.
Ruth, many thanks for your insight into Somalia's Al-Shabaab terrorist group. Ruth Namatovu is an analyst on Africa, peace, security and conflict at John Hopkins University.